Even though if you have not opened Microsoft Excel before, and this is your first time, today we're going to actually take this particular data and actually make decision with it. Our aim is to build a particular report that shows the top salesperson. So we're going to be learning Excel functions and formula, and as well we're going to be learning how to actually use conditional formatting to make sure we bring insight into our data. So this is going to be your workbook. Have it downloaded and make sure you follow me step by step on how I got this built using this particular data right in here. My aim is to help you get started with Microsoft Excel, and I think you need to subscribe and follow me step by step on how I get it done. Let us get into the class. This is going to be a very simple project. The very first thing you have to do, because you will be having new data to come in and update this particular report you're going to build right in here, is to first of all convert this into a table with Control T. Try to remember this, Control T. Okay, so once we have done that, we have to quickly calculate our sales amount with equals, take this number and multiply it by this very number here. That actually gives you this. So quickly we have to get into here. Before we even start doing anything here, we have to understand the functions we're going to use. We don't have one. Let me just show you this one. Unique function. So we have the sum function, the XLOOKUP mixed with the max function, the rank EQ function, the count if, and the unique function. The unique function is something just like a bonus. I just want to show you what it does. So going over here right now, let's say we don't have those particular salesperson's name and we have them right in here. We don't have to actually come over here and start writing them down one after the other. What we can do right now is just to use a function that can pull it for us once and for all. So the unique function will definitely do the work. So unique function is an array function. Go over here and make sure you aim the first one, Control Shift down arrow, then hit the enter key. Now you have a unique list of all the salesperson's name. So we don't want this. I just want to actually show you how to actually get it right in here. Okay, the very first calculation we have to do is actually the total sales of each of the salesperson right in here. So how do we go about that? That will actually take us to this particular part where we have to select a function that will do the work for us. And that will be the sum if s function. This very function highlighted in red. So getting back here right now, we have to look at how to use sum if s function. So you type in the sum if s. So now we have the range. Please pay attention to this particular part. It's very important. This is where you know what to supply to your sum if to actually make it work. Most importantly, always pay attention to this particular, highlighted in dark black. Okay. Now with the sum if s, it's looking for the sum number. That will take us to this particular part. And over here, we have to highlight this very range, Control Shift down arrow, then putting a comma on it right now, the criteria range. So the criteria range now is going to be the salesperson. So we select Control Shift down arrow. So once I've done this right now, comma is now asking for the criteria. So we have to get back right in here. This time around, I'm going to actually remove this particular part. Take a look at it. This particular part here is not important. That is just, taking the name of our worksheet. So we don't need it. We are in the worksheet already. You can just go ahead and take it off. So I'm left with my comma. Then I select this particular one, close, and hit my enter key. This is what I have. So all you have to do is to copy down and you have this exact value. Now that you have this value, what is next? The next thing we have to do right now is to actually calculate the sum function. So over here, we need a sum function. We don't have it already. So the sum function is what we need to use right now to get things done. So the sum function and the sum if s function is just like brothers and sisters, right? So this one, takes more condition to get what you want for you, while this one is capable to sum a single column, right? Let's get back in here. So over here right now, we want to get our total sales. It's easy. Just use the sum function to sum this particular part right in here. Then hit the enter key. Here is the total sales. I'm going to make sure it's much more popped than what I have right now. So let us make it better. Okay. So here's our total sales. And now this is where we have to do something a little bit advanced than what we have done before. So over here, we want to get the top salesperson. That is the core reason why we are doing this. So how do we get this done? Can you think of anything? So let me quickly take you back to the functions area here. So over here now, we have to use this particular XLOOKUP and the max function. Okay, before then, let us look at the behavior of the max function over here. So the max function, max over here, is looking for the max value from here. Can you see it right now? Aside the XLOOKUP function that we are using right now, there is another function we can use. We can actually use index and what? And match. Match is spelled as this. So we can use index and match. So let me show you the index and match. Now I'm going to show you the XLOOKUP and the max function. So now we have gotten this particular value. Who is this salesperson that has this very number? So we have to guess, or we have to start searching for the number here, then we match it up with any person that is actually right in here that is corresponding to the value. So we don't have to do that, right? What do? We first of all use match function. So we can actually mix it up with index. So the match function now, let us look at the functionality of the match function. So how it works is very important individually. So the match function will actually take this particular number. It's asking for the lookup value. This is our lookup value. Put a comma on it. Lookup array simply means where can we find this? So you just tell it to come over here to search for it. So once done, are we looking for the exact match? Yes, put 0 over here, then close, and here you go. So what we have retrieved right now is called position. The position where this particular value is sitting right in here is what we have just retrieved. Can you just get that right now? Please, if you're just watching for the first time and you have never been to this particular channel before, go ahead and hit the like button, leave a comment, just tell me thank you in the comment section, and make sure you subscribe. So now we have gotten the position. So what is the functionality of the index? Let us look at it. Index. So the index now is looking for the array. The array simply means what you want to retrieve. So we want to retrieve something from here. Can you see it now? It simply means what you want to retrieve. Where is it sitting? It is sitting right in here. So if I put my comma on it right now, it's now asking me which row can we actually use to identify it. You are going to say 1, 2. So instead of us to put 1 or 2, we just reference this particular one over here. Can you see it now? If I close and hit my enter key, it gives me this. Now, how do we mix together the two functions? Let me show you. Now, to retrieve this particular Tunde Bello here, we can actually do, first of all, index without using this number here. So we do index, the index array, come over here and pull something for me. So it's now asking me how. I'm going to say match. Can you see that now? This particular match function here is looking for lookup value. We tell it to go ahead and pick this one as lookup value to find the position. So with the command now, lookup array, search here to find where this particular number is actually sitting. So after I might have gotten that right now, the next thing we have to do is to say, give us exact match, then 0, close, close, twice. Now, can you see it now? Over here, we individually, got this number before we got this one using the index. But right now, we have mixed our index plus the match together. So this is exactly what we have. Please try to remember this. I'm not going to take it off. So now we are going to actually create for this. If you look at here now, we have looked at how to use this particular index and match. Let me color it. Index and match already. So what we have not looked at is this particular XLOOKUP and the max function right in here. Now, let us look at how to use that. Over here now, I'm going to type in, first of all, XLOOKUP. Then inside the XLOOKUP, I'm going to type in the max function. So before I even do this right now, let me show you what the max function does. The max function, okay, I think I've shown you before. The max function returns the max value from here. So now we're mixing it up with the XLOOKUP, right? Then max. So the max function now, we're going to say, okay, come over here and search for the max function for me. So make sure you have it closed, then put a comma on it. So once you have it closed and put a comma on it, so what is next? Can you guess? So the next thing now is the lookup array. For what? For our X lookup. So now this is the lookup value that was applied to the X lookup, which means we're telling, X lookup that we are looking for this value here, which is the max. Then X lookup right now is now asking us, where can we find it? I'll just tell it to come over here to search for it. Can you see it now? So it will not ask me, okay, if I find it right now, what do you want me to return? Return something from here. Return any value that is corresponding to this particular value here. So I'll just close and hit my enter key. Can you see it now? We have the same exact thing right in here. So which one is more easier? There are several ways to do something inside Microsoft Excel. If you have been using Excel before now, you would have known that. Okay, now I can successfully wipe off this particular part right now. We don't need it any longer. Now over here, we're looking at the target, hit rate. This is something very simple as well. The next calculation right now is the target hit rate over here. So let us go to our functions right in here and look at the count if else function. That is what we're going to actually use. Now we go over here, and inside here, what we're going to use now is the count if else function. Is it count if else? Let me take a look at it. No. This should be count if, or just ordinary count if, not count if else. So we just come over here and do count if. So with the count if right now is asking for the range to count. So we made a mistake. We have not done something that we're going to use the count if for. So pardon me for that. So the next thing we have to do right now, let's get back here and make sure this is not yet going to be highlighted in red. Instead, take it back to the main color. The next thing we have to work on is the rank over here. So we take the rank to red. So we get back here now, we work with the rank. So we want to rank every single salesperson right in here. So how do we rank them? It's easy. It's going to be rank, this one that has EQ. So what is the rank looking for to actually, make it work? It's something very easy. Please pay attention here. The very first thing you have to do right now is that you want to rank based on what? Based on this particular value here. And inside this particular value, to rank it, you have to put a comma on it and just highlight this whole range over here. That is the reference. Then make sure you do F4 key. The F4 key you're doing now is that you're locking this particular cell down because you don't want it to move, right? So after you have done that, the next thing you have to do is to put a comma on it, and the order now is descending, which is from the highest value to the lowest value. You put 0 on it. So you close, and if I hit my enter key, I have 2. This is ranked second. So I'll just go ahead and do this, and here we go. I have this. Okay, quickly, I want to do something very important right in here. So the very first thing I'm going to do right now is to go to the top ribbon, go to home. From home, let us go straight up to conditional formatting. Inside conditional formatting over here, I'm going to go to this particular manage, new rule over here. Then from here, we have to make sure we click on this particular one. Make sure you have it on selected, right? Like this, like highlight it. Then click over here and select just one of the cell in this particular rank column. So once you have done that, take off this particular dollar sign that is surrounding your column E. Just take the dollar sign at the front of it away. Then, so we're going to say if it is equals 1, we want to actually make sure we format it. The first format we want to do is just to make sure it is bold, right? The second one now, we want to make sure we format it with green color. A green color, which is the fill color, should be green. If this green is too light, we can click on more and we select the darker part of it right in here. Can you see how to mix a color? Beautiful. So black color will not pop out on a green color like this. So we have to go back to font and select it and click on white. Then let us click on OK. Click on OK right in here. So now we have just highlighted the first person. Can you see how simple and easy it is right now? Interesting. Now, we are going to calculate the status, which is the achievement right now. So this time around, we have to introduce another function over here called the if function. The if function will do the work for us. So how do we do that? We come over here now, we just calculate the status by using the if function over here. So what will the if function do? The if function is going to actually come and say, you know what? This value here, is it greater than or equals to this particular, value right in here? So if that is true, I want to say achieved. Otherwise, if it is not, missed. Okay, then we close and we hit our enter key. Let us go ahead and actually copy down. Can you see where we missed? So to make sure you highlight it quickly right now, we're going to do different kind of formatting right now. Let's go to the top ribbon here. And this time around, we still go ahead and click on this. I'm going to use this particular manage rules here. Then new, and select this particular one here. Then click on this one and make sure you do the same exact thing. Take that particular $sign at the front of F away. Then click over here. And okay, I think I have actually missed something. Let's remove it. So over here, I'm going to say if it is equals, inside double quotes, achieved. Then close the double quotes. Over here now, we just want to make it bold. And we select the font to be a green color. So we select a green color like this. So click on OK. So click on OK. Then if I apply right now, it has changed. So for where we have missed our target, we just click on new. Then we select this same one. We actually go straight up to this particular box here. Select this particular one. Then over here, don't forget this one, move it. And right in here, if it is equals missed, then we click on format. Then right now, we make sure we go straight up to this particular part here and we choose to use red color. Don't bold it, just leave it that way. Click on OK, OK, then OK. So can you see what we have done right now? A very nice report indeed. Okay, what do we do next? Right now, it is time for we to calculate our target hit rate, which is something very important. That is where we have to use the function we have proposed before. So we just have to come over here, and this time around is the count if function. We just have to make sure we push it on red. Let's get back here. Over here right now, we just do count if. So the count if function is asking like, what do you want me to count? Go ahead and count this particular part right in here. It will be like, okay, I get it. So now, if that is the thing you want, that simply means you have just applied me the range. So what do you actually want? So with the comma right now, it's asking for the criteria. What do you want me to use to actually have this, counted? I'll tell it to actually count only where we have achieved. Make sure the spelling is very correct, otherwise it will not work. So now, once you have done this, we close and we divide by another count again. Divide by another count. This time around, we are using count A. Oh, I missed that particular function. So we're using count A. So what is the functionality of our count A? The count A count only text. That is why we're using count A. So we count this particular part right in here. Once we've done that, we hit our enter key. Now, there is something I should have told you before we do that. That is the division operator we have right in here. So we are dividing the numbers of the status by only where we have the achieved one. And that was why we first of all extracted this particular part. If I just copy this part here alone, copy, and I come over here, equals, paste it down, and hit my enter key. So because it was formatted, don't worry, I'm going to just show you something else again. So I'm going to copy this particular part as well. Copy, then come over here, equals, then paste it rather. Then here we go. You can just go ahead and make sure I'm only seeing value like this. So this is exactly what we have here. So what we have done right now is to make sure we calculate the percentage by taking this particular value here, divide it by this very value over here, and that gives us the same exact thing. If I now go over here now and convert it to percentage, we have this particular value. Can you see it now? Very easy and simple, straightforward, right? Now, we're going to calculate the best sales value, which is something very simple. So when we get back over here, we have actually used a function called count A. And right now we're going to be using the count function, the max function rather, max function, and we have used the unique function. So we have utilized all our functions. So everything is almost at 100%. So getting back here right now, we can wipe off this particular part here and write in here, what function are we going to use? The max function to answer that particular question. We just do this. We hit our enter key, 100. So can you see it now? Interesting. Okay, to make sure we actually give the management something to actually field, from to make decision right now, what we can do is to make sure we actually select this particular range here and go into the top ribbon, click on insert and go over here and insert a chart. This chart looks beautiful, so it will fit into this particular space we have right now. So can you see it now? The next thing we have to do is to make sure we match this particular color to our actual color, the color scheme we have right in here. So what I'm going to do right now is to Control 1. Then from Control 1, I am going to actually make sure, look at this particular one here. This is my sales. This is the color I have on my sales, a green color. And for my target, do we have any color for target? No, we can actually invent a color for target. So first of all, wipe off the grid line. Then from there, you click on this one. You come over here, just close it a little bit. Okay, once you've done that, you go over to the sales. This is the sales over here. It's clicked on. So you go to the field, click over here, and select this for the sales. So if you want this particular exact color here, what you can do is just to go over to the top, then go to insert, go over here, and go to more colors, and you copy the color code from here. I've just shown you enough things that can actually, make you more productive. Don't forget to subscribe, it's very important. The like button, just go hit the like button. So paste it and click on OK. Now we have the same exact color that matches. So on this particular one here, which is the target here, we're going to select something like this. I want something lighter. Let's go for this particular one. More lighter will be this very one here. Interesting. We have something that looks like this. Can you see it now? So we don't want to have the data label. So for that, if you don't want to have the data label on it, what you can do right now is to make sure you don't tick off this particular y-axis. It's very important. This is what you need to do. Over here now, we have to rename this one to sales versus target by salesperson. So can you see it now? One more last thing before we actually go. So we want to actually have, management insight. It's something very simple and easy. So we're going to be using the count if as well. Let's put an equal sign here. Please pay attention here. It's very important. The very first thing we're going to do is to make sure, for the first time, you need to know what you want to actually bring out as an insight. So I want to say Tunde Bello, which is this particular name right in here, leads the team, and two salesperson missed their target. Something like that. Let's see how we can actually put it into dynamic, stuff. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to say here. So once you have referenced this now, the next thing you have to do is just to actually add this. And inside here, you put, So add this. Inside double quotes, you just type in leads the teams. So lead the teams. So you put a full stop, and inside double quotes again, we are going to need to use under ampersand here. So we use the count if. The count if function. So with the count if function now, we want to count this particular part here and only count where people have missed. So we just count this particular part. Then we go ahead and actually close. So we are using count if, put a comma on it for the criteria. We just tell it to actually do for where we have missed. Then once we have done that, we close and we go ahead and actually put an ampersand here. So inside here we do sales person. Inside double quotes, the S should be inside the parentheses. Missed targets and need coaching. So it depends on what you want to have right in here. So if I hit my enter key, I have something that looks like this. I can actually make sure I centralize it by going over here now. I just do this in the middle. We can increase it. So how about this? Finally, we have built something that the management can actually use to make decision. This was done without pivot table, without any AI assistant. So all we have done now is just to learn how to use those particular functions here to actually create this very report right in here that is a decision ready. So something very simple, and I believe you must have actually created the same exact thing on your own PC. So if you have not, please try to make sure you achieve the same exact thing that I have just achieved with you. And your subscription is very important. Just say thank you in the comment section and see you in my next videos.